Hello. This new student orientation is for our online-only students and our part-time commuting students. My name is Crystal Gehring. I'm the Director of Dual Enrollment and Admissions Operations. Welcome to MVNU. Each of you should have received a welcome email. In the welcome email, you will find important information that will help you through the start of classes. I recommend that you flag this email to be better able to find it if you have questions. The timeline gives you a general overview of next steps for the next few months, actually days now. And most of those may have been accomplished, but there was still a whole lot of other information in that email that you're going to want to go back and look at least once before classes start. Included in the email is your student ID number. This ID number is used everywhere. It is your unique identifier at MVNU. Also included is your MVNU username, which is used to sign into all MVNU accounts, except your application status page. That one remains the personal email that you used to sign up for your application. You will need to sign into Moodle and the MVNU portal before classes start using your MVNU username and password. Our advising sessions through our scheduler are now closed. If you need help with your schedule, please reach out to dual enrollment at mvnu.edu and we will contact you about scheduling and any questions that you have. If we still need a few more things from you, they can be found on the Post Acceptance tab on your MVNU application status page. Once all your needed items are returned to us or completed, the annoying email reminder that you keep getting saying we're still waiting on a few things will stop. So get those things done so that we don't have to track you down. An MVNU student ID is available to all students, though you must come to campus to receive one, and our online students do not have to have one. You can get your student ID at the hub in the lower level of the library or at the campus safety office by the back gate. Your ID gets you several benefits, even for our online-only students. So what can it do for you? You can get free admission to any MVNU athletic event. You can get access to our MVNU workout facilities as long as they're not reserved for our athletic teams. You can check things out from the rack, things like kayaks and bikes and those types of things. And then you can get student discounts around town, even at your hometown, if you're farther away from MVNU. All you have to do is ask to say, do you give student discounts? So we have worked hard to schedule your classes based on the information you have provided on your academic advising form, information from your school counselor, and information you shared in your personal academic advising session. If you haven't yet filled out the academic advising form, please go to the Post Acceptance tab on your MVNU application status page and fill it out. This form also notifies the registrar's office that you need us to be assigned as your advisors and will give us access to your MVNU account that we need throughout the year. You can go to the MVNU portal, click on the self-service menu, click on Web Advisor for Students, New Student Orientation, and My Class Schedule. There's some other ways to find your class schedule as well, but that one is one of the ways that we recommend that you can find your schedule. I can guarantee you that our MVNU academic calendar and your high school calendar will rarely match. You are required to be in attendance at MVNU, even if your high school is canceled or closed for the day. One good example of this is Labor Day. Your high school will most likely have the holiday off, while MVNU will hold classes. Review the MVNU academic calendar for details. You can find that by hovering over the hamburger on the portal. Go to portal.mvnu.edu, click on MVNU Community, and click on Calendars and Schedules. MVNU does have a strict attendance requirement, including our online classes. A student who exceeds the allowable number of excused absences can be administratively withdrawn from the course, resulting in a W or X grade, depending on the time of the withdrawal. And it doesn't really matter what grade you have in the class at that time. If you have a class trip, a family vacation, maybe a high school commitment, it is not the place to wait and ask for forgiveness later. You should be proactive and reach out to your professor before that actually happens. Please understand that the professor is not obligated to excuse you, but you'll definitely have a better chance of getting their help in these situations if you reach out ahead of time. Also, excused absences are things like the ACT testing at your school, maybe a marching band competition, those types of school-sanctioned events. Family vacations are not an excused absence, and those days will count against you if you go on a family vacation. So be aware of that. In any case, you need to reach out to the professor. If you miss something really important like a test or a quiz, it is your responsibility to contact the professor and make arrangements to make that test or quiz up. So make sure that you do that so that you do not get a failing grade for that assessment. Mark your calendars. Our first day of classes is August 28th, 2023. Finals for fall term will be the first week of December. We will start our spring term January 11th, and spring term finals will be the first week of May. There were some other key dates that were provided in the welcome email timeline. You can look at those when you have time. For our online sections, the majority of them do not have a regular meeting time, but are paced through the syllabus and Moodle where assignments are submitted. The professor will set due dates that must be met, but the road to meeting them can be defined by the student as far as scheduling goes. So if a student, if you as a student have an athletic event one evening, you can, I know you don't have a whole lot of time. You can do that work the day before, or plan for, if you still have time for the thing, for the assignment that's due, to work your time in the day after. So just plan accordingly as you schedule your time. All communication for our online classes, and really for most of our classes, will take place through email and Moodle. If you're in seat at the campus, you will also get information from the professor during class. It's up to you as the student to stay on top of assignments and due dates and times, no matter what kind of class you have. Attendance still matters. In order to be present for the week in our online classes, you have to have interacted with the class at least one time. That means you have turned in an assignment, you've responded to someone's post, or emailed the professor. So make sure that you do that. If you notice that there's an error in attendance where you've been marked absent, you should reach out to the professor to get that corrected. If you find that you need some help for your class, our Center for Student Success will help, even for our online students, and I will talk a little bit more about this in an upcoming slide. So what is Day 14 and why does it matter? Day 14 is September 8th, and it's a state set day. It's a University Stats Day, and the state of Ohio has decided that CCP students who choose to drop a course before September 8th will have no consequences. So there's no record of it. It doesn't go to your high school, doesn't go on your transcript. After September 8th, students who choose to drop a course will receive a W on the transcript, which is still okay because it does not have a GPA effect. But your school might reach out and say, you need to reimburse us for the cost of this course, and any materials purchased. So that can be a little costly. So your best case is, if you find that you're over your head or it's too much work, is drop the class before Day 14. Second best case would be drop it after Day 14, but before October 23rd. That window would get you a W, which still does not affect your GPA, but does have some consequences with it. After October 23rd, students are no longer permitted to drop a course at MVNU, and you'll finish the course with whatever grade you earn. For these reasons, it's crucial to make your schedule change decisions well in advance of Day 14 deadline. So if you get in and you realize that you're in trouble, let us know and we'll help you get out. What happens if you need to make a schedule change? Please contact our office at dualenrollment@mvnu.edu. You can call me at 740-399-8608 or Diane at 740-397-9000, extension 4500. If you decide to make a change to your schedule, please contact us immediately. Schedule changes can be challenging due to seat availability and acquiring textbooks and materials, especially this close to school start. Also, if you decide to stop taking a class, you can't just stop. You do have to let us know so that we can withdraw you from that class. So what about textbooks? If you ask me about textbooks, I'm going to ask you, is your high school participating in the MVNU textbook rental program? If you're one of the many that say yes, MVNU will provide your textbooks and course materials before semesters start. So that would be next week. You can expect to be either pick things up if your school is within 20 miles of the MVNU campus, or if it's farther than that and you're online only, we will mail them to you. We do have a new location for our pickup and drop off, and it's the Hut, which is the little tiny building outside of the chapel. So you should get more information about that if you are a textbook rental school. Then we will be sending you information about that and with times when to pick up textbooks and all that kind of stuff. So that should be coming here within the next week. If your school has said no, they do not want to opt in, you will need to contact your school counselor. Every school has their own process, and you need to ask now because they will need to get those textbooks ordered in order for you to have them by the start of class time. So we will be sending you an email about textbooks very soon, probably the beginning of next week. We do offer every high school the option to opt in. And every school that has a student here has received a copy of our textbook rental agreement. So hopefully they have signed that. We have a few that still have not responded. So there are a few that have said no and a few that we don't have any information yet. Textbooks are due back by the end of finals week. Or if you're shipping them back, we'll give you directions and time frame. And it's important that you get them back because sometimes we have to rent textbooks for you. And then we are under time constraints and are charged fees that we will have to pass on if we don't get those textbooks back in time. We do expect normal wear and tear on our textbooks. If your dog eats a textbook or if you lose a textbook, then we would have to bill the school for a replacement. So just take care of them and use them responsibly. So as far as grades and graduation requirements, all grades will be reported to the high school after the semester ends. So we do a bulk report and send your grades over. Grades will be listed on both the high school and the college transcript, and they should match. So if you got an A here, you should have an A there. Graduation requirements, though we know quite a bit about high school graduation requirements and can try to advise you somewhat. They are ultimately the responsibility of the student, the parent, and the high school counselor. We'll give our advice, but your school has the final say in how classes are credited towards graduation requirements, and every school is different. So we can say a lot of our schools do this. I can't guarantee that your school will accept certain things to meet certain requirements. So do check with them for that. FERPA is super important. So FERPA is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. It's a law that protects student information, much like HIPAA protects medical information. We have to follow this. It's not anything that we've created. It's by law, that's state law that we have to follow. So we strongly recommend that you, the student, fill out the FERPA form giving us permission to talk to your parent. Not filling out the form is the same as saying no, and we will not be able to talk to your parent or get their help if you begin to struggle, or even if they have questions. We can't answer a lot of their questions. We will send a link out to the form, but it is also available on the portal. If you go to the little hamburger, which is the 3 lines, click on Student Resources, click on Registrar's Office, you can find it there. And please don't wait until you need help. Go ahead and fill that form out today because we will check in early September and mark your account accordingly on whether you've said a yes or no and what that looks like. We have a great resource on campus called the Center for Student Success. One of the most important things it offers is for any student who is struggling in a course or just wants extra tutoring, they can receive help for free. And this includes our online students. They will make arrangements to have a Zoom meeting or some kind of meeting to get you help. They have accessibility services. If you have an IEP or 504 in high school, you can receive some kind of accommodations here at MVNU, and you would need to reach out to them for help if you need help. We have career development. If you don't know what you want to be or what you want to do after graduation and you want some help with that, you can arrange to get some help. All of these things are available for free, and you can check out their website for more information if you are interested in any of those services. So what are your next steps? So where can you go with your questions? Dual enrollment office and is general questions and schedule changes, textbooks. Our motherboard help desk will be IT needs. If you have course questions, unfortunately, we can't answer those. You have to go to the college professor. Graduation requirements and athletic eligibility is school counselor. And then if you have any kind of fine or a self-pay class, that would be student accounts. As far as athletic eligibility, We also fill out the form. If your athletic director says, hey, or your coach says, hey, we need this form filled out, a grade report, if you fill out the top part of the form and send it to us, we will send that back to you when those are due. If you don't know who to ask, always start with our office and we will get you to the right place to find the correct answer. What are your next steps? If you have not yet done so, please set up your MVNU accounts. Having access to your accounts can be tricky, and if you need help, we'll need to connect you with our IT department to try to make sure that you can get logged into everything. You should also begin checking your MVNU email daily. Once you're in, once classes start the week before and while classes are going on, you should check every day to make sure you don't have important communication from your professor or other things that are happening at the university. So please make sure you begin developing the good habit of checking your MVNU email. If you don't have all of your forms turned in, please go to apply.mvnu.edu/status. Check all of your things just to make sure that you don't have any outstanding forms. If you need help figuring out what to do with them, then please go ahead and reach out to us and we can help, let you know what you still need to do, and let's get those taken care of so that we can turn off that email, but we can also not have to come track you down to get the final things that we need. And finally, if you need to reach out to us, you can reach out to Diane or I individually, but emailing dualenrollment@mvnu.edu will get to both of us and may get a quicker response. So please reach out with any questions you may have. We are here to help. We look forward to working with you this year and hope you have a great year.